Tonight, all flights grounded unless there's a deal.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
Air Canada's contingency plan in the midst of rocky labor negotiations. Plus, provincial dollars for a major construction project.
It's going to be painful, but it'll be well worth it in the end.
Millions in funding to transform Sunningale Road. And a tourist milestone at a local landmark.
One of the best things about our community, one of the best things about Southampton.
The legacy of the Chantry Island Lighthouse.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Officials on both sides of the Air Canada flight attendant labor dispute say they're at an impasse, and that means anyone flying with the airline in the coming days should start looking at other options. Air Canada flights are gradually being suspended, and by Saturday, all of them will be grounded if there's no deal reached. Sean Leathong reports.
Storming in on their employer, about 24 Air Canada flight attendants picket inside a news conference that was organized by the airline.
We want to be seen, we want to be heard, we want to be valued for the work that we do.
Members stand holding signs accusing Air Canada of forcing unpaid work. This as the airline begins canceling flights, winding down operations towards a total shutdown.
It's simply not the kind of system that we can start or stop at the push of a button.
At the start of the day, Air Canada leadership outlined what the shutdown would look like. It includes several dozen cancellations Thursday, around 500 cancellations on Friday, with all flights grounded by Saturday if a deal is not reached in time. The first cancellations to be mostly international long-haul flights set to take off Thursday night. At Pearson Airport in Toronto, an information desk has been set up to help travelers who are concerned.
I'm concerned about getting back from my destination. That's about it.
I'm hoping it'll be very short-lived and resolved really quickly. If not, I guess we're finding another ride home.
The airline saying all canceled flights will be offered a refund as they try to rebook for those who are stranded, but seats are limited.
And it looks like we're going to have to pay out of pocket probably about $900 for a new flight.
We are extremely disappointed by CUPE's decision, which threatens to disrupt the travel plans of more than 130,000 customers a day.
The airline saying their latest offer, a 38% raise, including benefits, that would make Air Canada the best compensated flight attendants in the country.
One of the lowest rates.
Bargaining team member Natasha Steya says the airline isn't being truthful.
We are not the highest paid, and with the increase that they're proposing, we still would not be the highest paid.
As both sides argue over compensation and what the union is calling unpaid work, at this point, there's little either side can agree on.
We have been at the table, sitting and waiting. We've been talking with the conciliators. We've been there. But the employer, they left.
We never left the table. We are engaged throughout the entire process.
Air Canada has asked the federal government to step in and force mediation, with Federal Labour Minister Patty Hajdu saying the government is available, but I urge both parties to put their differences aside, come back to the bargaining table, and get this done now for the many travelers who are counting on you. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
And with thousands of flyers potentially in travel limbo, many of them are looking for alternatives. With more on the options available if your flight gets grounded, here's Adrian Gobriel.
Labor stoppage or not, you should still be able to get off the ground, according to industry watchers.
If you already have an Air Canada ticket booked and paid for, then Air Canada has to buy you a ticket.
In the case of an active strike, which is classified as outside an airline's control, large companies such as Air Canada are required by legislation to rebook customers on a new reservation for the next available flight that is operated by any carrier.
Any carrier means any airline, including but not limited to the airline's competitors.
On their website, Air Canada says customers whose flights are cancelled will be notified and they will be eligible for a full refund. Air passenger rights advocates are advising customers against accepting a reimbursement.
One important thing to remember is do not accept a refund. Refund can be a way for airlines to wash their hands from their obligations to rebook you.
If you don't have a ticket and are looking to book travel in or out of Canada over the next several days, you might be in for a shock. The cheapest round-trip ticket departing Toronto tomorrow and returning from Vancouver next Friday costs more than $1,300. The same week-long round-trip ticket leaving September 5th, returning September 12th, is going for as little as $273. It all comes down to supply and demand that influences strategic pricing by the airlines.
Last-minute ticket prices, which always tend to be higher, and a substantial sudden increase in demand that is pushing prices up due to what might be a strike at Air Canada.
Again, if your flight is canceled by Air Canada, they're obligated to purchase you another ticket to your destination. If they refuse, consumer advocates say you could purchase one yourself and flip Air Canada the bill. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A major construction project is coming to North London, upgrading a stretch of Sunningale Road. It's expected to last 2 years, costing nearly $20 million, funded by the provincial government. With more, here's Brian Bicknell.
It's one of the fastest growing corners of London, but road infrastructure has not kept pace.
This is a major corridor for anyone coming into the northwest part of the city. You think about all the development that's happened along Sunningale Road, Foxfield, Sunningdale itself, and there's just so many people trying to get in and out of the area.
Ward 7 Councillor Corinne Rahman was on hand as the provincial infrastructure and housing ministers announced $18.3 million in funding to upgrade Sunningale Road West between Wonderland Road North and Village Walk Boulevard. The city says the improvements will allow for 5,000 new homes.
We need more homes built faster and smarter because it takes too long and it costs too much to build housing. So that's why we're here today.
We hope to come back again, and we're very happy to see that you're moving on this funding very quickly.
Improvements include widening the road from 2 to 4 lanes, adding sidewalks, cycle lanes, lighting, and new stormwater infrastructure. A new bridge will be built at Medway Creek, along with a pathway connection along the creek.
So we have to run balanced budgets each and every year, and we have 3 pieces of our pie. We've got property taxes, user fees, and government grants. It means our provincial and federal partners are critical to us actually supplying the infrastructure and the services that we need.
In total, it's a 2.2-kilometer stretch between Wonderland Road and Village Walk Boulevard. Construction getting underway next spring, and it is expected to take 2 years.
It's going to be painful. We're going to have to find other ways to get around and maneuver through the construction, but it'll be well worth it in the end.
Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
We are live on location tonight at DQ Canada, and stores across the country are donating money today in support of children's hospitals across the country, and here in London in support of Children's Health Foundation. I am joined by a very special little lady. This is Milana, and she is 4.5 years old, and she's just decided to take a little rest on my shoulder. But Milana was born a micro preemie at the hospital and spent 132 days in hospital. And now she is a thriving 4.5-year-old. So today, Blizzard treats are in support. Have you had a blizzard today? No, yes you have. You've had 2 blizzards. She's woken up for us. All right, she has had blizzard treats today in support of Children's Health Foundation in our community. Now, Milana, you're 4.5. What do you like to do for fun? Do you like to play outside?
Yeah, but Mommy gave my blue slider away because it was too big, so I'll go make a sky give me a bigger one.
Okay. Well, being born at 1 pound, now you're 4.5. You're definitely not 1 pound now. You've had a lot of support. You're thriving. You're a young little lady, and you love what? Dinosaurs? And what's your favorite dinosaur?
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
A Tyrannosaurus Rex. All right. Well, Miracle Treat Day in support of Children's Health Foundation. And again, all blizzard treats sold today go to support, and all that money stays right here in our community and supporting little young ladies like Milana. And she's going to go have some ice cream, I think, right now. Definitely a perfect night for ice cream in our community with lots of sunshine, and it's a hot one out there. Temperature in the city, 27 degrees. Midwestern Ontario, anywhere from 23 to 26. Expecting mainly clear conditions tonight with light winds. Now we are under the influence of high pressure. Our air quality today was moderate. As we head into the overnight, we're expecting clear conditions, as I mentioned, and some patchy fog. Still dealing with a bit of a humidex on the hour, so it still feels like the upper 20s, low 30s. But as we head into the overnight tonight, the temperature will be dipping down to about 16 degrees. Our satellite radar showing just a few clouds. Most of that cloud cover dissipating. Watch for fog again through the overnight. Temperature still holding at 18 degrees under clear conditions as we head toward midnight. All right, Milana has got her ice cream. What kind of ice cream is this?
Cookie crumble.
Cookie crumble. This is her favorite. All right, is that good? Yeah, I think it's excellent. All right, we will take a look at our extended forecast. It'll take us into the weekend, and we'll talk about heating up temperatures as we head into tomorrow. Perfect night for ice cream. That's okay. Don't worry about that. All right, we're going to eat some blizzards and have some fun. We'll see you in just a bit.
Might need a napkin or two. Thanks very much, Julie. Free life jackets are now available at the beach in Port Stanley.
Got the neck collar, which helps keep the head out of the water, and even the handle. So if your kid's going too far, you can give him a little tug.
The lending program launched today at the main beach, and visitors can borrow a life jacket by leaving a piece of ID and signing a waiver. They're available on a first-come, first-served basis at the Central Lifeguarding Tower, and a lifeguard is supposed to be available to ensure the fit is correct.
It's really great that we can offer that to anyone who wants to swim and wants to engage in our beautiful beach here, but just gives that extra layer of safety and make sure that everyone can return home at the end of the day.
I like to say we have the best beach on Lake Erie. I'd also like it to be the safest. Working with the Elgin County Drowning Prevention Program, the life jacket program just makes the beach even more accessible to more people.
Police in Windsor say they're looking for a suspect accused of spraying hateful graffiti targeting racial and queer communities. Police released this photo today after Windsor Pride Parade participants reported the vandalism. With more, here's Sanjay Maru.
What was supposed to be a day of celebration and love marred yet again by sign after sign after sign of hate.
It's getting tiring. How can anybody have so much hate in them anymore? It's saddening.
Some of the graffiti was cleaned up within hours, but as our cameras saw, not all of it could be erased in time. Among those who reported it was Ottawa Street BIA Chair Ettore Bonato, who spent part of the Pride Parade walking block after block with a paint roller in hand to remove the graffiti.
Windermere, all the way down to Parent, on foot, checking everything all out. And the city of Windsor was out also, and they were doing all the electrical boxes. On the way back, I already saw words written in magic marker on the electrical boxes. So paint over it again.
Bonato says Ottawa Street's diversity with LGBTQ+ residents, newcomers, and longtime ethnic communities has made the area a target.
This type of hate graffiti, I find it a lot here. I fought 40 years ago for my rights. It is just amazing how all of a sudden we all have to fight again.
For the president of the Windsor Pride community, this is more than a nuisance, it's intimidation.
To you, it's just graffiti. To somebody else, that's a threat. It makes us have to look over our shoulders every time we walk down the street.
And Windsor police numbers show these reports are not slowing down. There were 32 hate-motivated reports in 2023, 39 in 2024, and 37 already in 2025, with 4 months of the year still to go. While police investigate these incidents, Bonato says the real message back to the vandals is simple.
We're not scared of you, and we're going to be who we want to be.
And as for Nicholson, she says she's committed to confronting hate head-on, no matter how often it appears.
I will come back every time, and I will speak out on it every time.
Sanjay Maru, CTV News.
A major curling event is coming to London next month. Some of the sport's top athletes will compete for a Grand Slam title in the lead up to next winter's Olympic Games. With more, here's Rita Ismail.
The 2025 Masters will welcome the best curlers in the world to London, September 23rd to the 28th at Western Fair Sports Centre.
I want people to come and just enjoy our sport and see the strategy of it and get to know us, the athletes.
With teams from 13 countries, including Olympic hopefuls, the Masters marks the first major test on the road to the 2026 Winter Games.
It's a huge benefit for tourism in our city. It's a huge benefit for the local businesses, local economy. And it's a huge chance to just show people what London's all about.
For Team Homan lead Sarah Wilkes, it's more than just another bonspiel. It's home.
I get to share where I live with my teammates and my competitors, and I'm just so excited to have it here and to have that kind of sense of home and have family here and be able to share where I live with everyone.
Team Homan enters the event as the top-ranked women's team, boasting a record 17 Grand Slam titles, 4 of them at the Masters. The Grand Slam of Curling says it's committed to advancing the sport on a global scale and awards equal purses to both men's and women's teams. And for the first time ever, a wheelchair curling invitational joins the lineup with 4 elite teams taking part.
Our national program calls London home as one of our sort of main training centers, and so when we found out there was a Grand Slam of curling coming to London, we were really, really excited to up with the prospects of maybe integrating a wheelchair component into the event.
Our participation in this slam can get 1 or 2 new wheelchair users up and playing the sport, and that's great for everyone involved.
Although London has a long curling tradition, this marks the first time the Grand Slam series has come to the city, and it's a moment local organizers have been working toward for a long time.
The World Championships happen when the London Knights are in the playoffs. So this is the only time that we can bring those world-class curlers to London and show them what a great job we can do.
If you're planning to go, don't wait. Tickets are already on sale with early bird deals available until Monday. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
A visitor milestone was reached recently in Bruce County, celebrated by the keepers of a nearly 200-year-old lighthouse. With more on the landmark's legacy and continuing tourist appeal, here's Scott Miller.
When Marilyn Pope came from Acton to enjoy a tour of Chantry Island near Southampton on Wednesday, she had no idea she would be making history as the 30,000th visitor to the historical site.
Surprising? I don't know. Yeah, totally shocking.
Since 2001, Southampton's Marine Heritage Society volunteers have been taking visitors from across North America to visit Chantry Island and its more than 150-year-old lighthouse. Built in 1859, the Chantry Island Lighthouse and Lighthouse Keeper's Home started falling into disrepair in the 1980s. A group of volunteers came together in the early 90s to try and restore the historical structures and bring tours to the National Historic Site. By the late 90s, restoration on the Lighthouse Keeper's Home began, and by 2001, tours to the island off the coast of Southampton began.
30,000 visitors, it is a milestone for this organization, and to think it all started with a group of people meeting at the Walker House in the 90s and saying, how can we enhance our tourism for Southampton, what can we do?
Kaufman says the entirely volunteer-run tours will continue as long as there are enough local people willing to keep it going, which with more than 200 volunteers now involved means that Chantry Island tours are here to stay.
With the 30,000 visitors that we've taken across there, that means that this boat behind us has made over 4,000 trips to that island, full of volunteers, full of paid patrons. So it is an ongoing, a great deal amount of work, but we have an enormous amount of fun doing it.
The Marine Heritage Society, they've been doing these tours for years and years now, and it's one of the best things about our community. One of the best things about Southampton is the tours to the island. Of course, the lighthouse on the island and getting out there and being able to climb up it and look out across the water and back at the shore.
As for the 30,000th visitor, Marilyn Pope, she's happy to have been a part of history and would recommend the 2-hour tours to everyone.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, definitely worth the boat ride and everything. I was a little nervous about the stairs, but did it, so yeah.
Near Southampton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
When we come back, improving conditions, but still a struggle to contain. The latest on the raging wildfires in Newfoundland. Plus, the world watches as President Trump prepares for a sit-down with Vladimir Putin.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. Authorities in Newfoundland say about 100 homes and structures have been damaged by a wildfire north of Conception Bay. That's an estimate, though, because it's still too dangerous to send crews in closer for a better count. As Garrett Berry reports, thousands of evacuees are now left wondering whether they've lost their homes.
The wait for answers has been excruciating, especially considering just how long some of these evacuees have been out of their homes.
When I start to do an inventory, I kind of shut down. Like everything precious, every single item precious to me in my life is in Western Bay.
Tanya Kearley Russell fled her place in Western Bay 10 days ago with whatever she and her husband could fit inside these two vehicles. Now she's in St. John's, but everything else is back at that property, underneath the smoke and the flame from the Kingston wildfire.
Everything that we want important to us in our lives is under that roof.
One area town council did report a preliminary count today of what dwellings have been lost. It includes a heritage schoolhouse. But officials say it's too dangerous to ask anyone to go inside the smoke for a fuller count.
Once these fires are out, and they will be out, and we get into the communities to see what's left and what's gone, we'll work with every individual, every family, every business, every mayor to see how we can rebuild the communities.
There was some good news today. These clouds above us bringing more humidity, even some rain over parts of the province. Both much needed help for firefighters. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
Officials fighting wildfires in the Kawartha Lakes area say they are making good progress. They have now classified one of the fires as held, meaning they don't expect it to spread further based on current and forecasted conditions. A second larger fire is still considered out of control, but at this point, it's not considered a threat to the city of Kawartha Lakes. Confidence today from President Donald Trump suggesting Russian President Vladimir Putin wants to get it done in reference to ending the war in Ukraine. With a look ahead to tomorrow's Alaska summit between the two leaders, here's Rachel Aiello.
Final preparations are underway in Alaska at the U.S. military base where the high-stakes summit is taking place.
I want to see if I can stop the killing.
Tomorrow, U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin will sit down face-to-face. Today, Putin called Trump's efforts to stop hostilities energetic and sincere, though Trump tempered expectations about this meeting ending with a truce.
The more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're having. We're going to see what happens. And I think President Putin will make peace. I think President Zelensky will make peace. We'll see if they can get along. And if they can, it'll be great.
Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky won't be in Anchorage, but Trump said a second summit between the three world leaders could come soon after. Today, Zelensky met with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and the pair emerged optimistic about the chance for peace, so long as Putin agrees to a ceasefire deal that protects Ukraine's territorial integrity.
If President Trump somehow manages to cajole that out of them, that will be the best possible outcome.
Today, Kremlin and White House officials confirmed that Trump and Putin plan to hold a joint press conference once their talks conclude. But Trump later said he could still decide to go solo if the meeting doesn't go well. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
We're heading back to Julie Atchison, who is live on location for us tonight. Blizzard treat day. No, I'm a little partial to anything with a little bit of cheesecake, a little bit of fruit. That's what I'm kind of craving for now after seeing the last hit we had with you, Julie.
Thanks so much. Yeah, definitely so many great flavors. I'm a little bit partial to the store myself. So definitely lots of Blizzard treats being had tonight. There's been a steady flow of traffic coming into the store and a steady flow of people waiting in the drive-through line to support Children's Health Foundation. Again, net proceeds going to support local hospitals across the country and right here in our community. So every Blizzard sold, of course, supporting our community, which is fantastic. And who doesn't love a sweet treat, right? Conditions across our region today was a hot one, that's for sure. Daytime high coming in at 28 degrees, but still comfortable, and humidity levels still quite tolerable. Our low temperature 15, so normally 26 and 14. The record 34 degrees set back in 1944, and our sunset this evening just before 8:30. At the London airport right now, it's 27 degrees. We still have a light north-northwesterly flow. As we head through the overnight, winds will become light and variable, and watch for patchy fog as we head into tomorrow morning. There were some fog advisories issued briefly this morning. We could see that again tomorrow morning. As we zoom out, we do have an area of low pressure that is moving through Manitoba and some fronts associated with it, bringing some rainfall in northwestern Ontario. The cold front that's associated with it will be moving into the Great Lakes, but not until the weekend. That low is headed to Hudson Bay, and it will drag that cold front across the lower Great Lakes with a chance of showers by Saturday night. You can see some cooler air in place in Western Canada. Temperatures are set to cool down for us just a bit as we head into a Sunday. So we're going to be turning up the heat tomorrow and Saturday. Overnight, comfortable 15 to 16 degrees if you are near Lake Huron or Erie, 16 to 17. High pressure drifts off to the east. We pick up the return flow. What that means is winds coming in out of the south. That pumps up the heat and the humidity out ahead of the cold front that will be approaching heading into Saturday. So you can see a little line of cloud associated with it. Again, the bulk of the moisture not arriving until late Saturday, so we will get through the day Saturday dry. Waking up to sunshine and light winds, mainly sunny conditions through the day, feeling like 35 in the afternoon. And then by Saturday, it will feel close to 40. We're looking for rain. It has been extremely dry. We do have the opportunity for showers, but only Saturday night into Sunday. Other than that, fairly dry. Tuesday, we could see a little bit of light rainfall. Our metal roof outlet forecast, though, mainly sunny Friday, sunshine Saturday, clouds roll in Saturday night with an area of light showers. Temperature will dip a bit behind that cold front. Monday looks fantastic at 27, and then Tuesday, a few showers and down to 24, 26 to 28 degrees as we round out the 7-day. Temperatures are still averaging a bit above average. We will see cooler conditions briefly early next week. I know if you've been waiting to take your holidays, you still have some great weather to do so. Metal roof outlet forecast for Midwestern Ontario, sunshine in 29, 32 on Saturday. Chance of morning showers on Sunday, and then sunshine on Monday. Daytime highs anywhere from 24 to 25. We'll hit 27 degrees as we head into Thursday under a mix of sun and cloud. Now, every dollar raised in London goes to supporting the Children's Health Foundation. Again, it's at the DQ stores. We are on the one on Wellington Road this evening. And again, a great night to be out in support of the Children's Health Foundation. Milana is just an absolutely rock star of a young lady. Again, she's 4.5 years old. And I was mentioning Carlyle. I've actually followed her journey over the last year. I met her at another event I was at, and she is just sparkles. She was just taking a little rest. So I hope you got a chance to really meet this awesome little girl. Folks at home, I'll send things back to the newsroom.
A star in the making, I think, Julie. Thanks so much. Coming up, cultural dining diversity. The new grocery chain opening in the Forest City featuring global flavors.
TikTok. You are running out of time.
It's so scary.
Tomorrow's your last chance to qualify for the CCMAs in Kelowna.
If you enter even one keyword, we could be calling you Monday morning to let you know you've won our final trip. Keywords resume tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
London's newest grocery store is now open. Adonis is a Quebec-based brand opening its first franchise here in London on Wonderland near Bradley. The company is expanding into Ontario through a partnership with the Metro grocery chain. The supermarket caters to Middle Eastern and Mediterranean products, including fresh-made pitas on site. However, staff say there are options from all over the world.
Food travels. And good food also travels around the world. So for us, we cater to everyone.
YouTube is rolling out a new policy to keep kids from accessing age-restricted content. The video platform is testing an AI tool in the U.S. right now, meant to figure out if a user is under 18 years old, analyzing how long an account has been active and what types of videos are being searched. Suspected minors will encounter restrictions. Any adults incorrectly flagged will have to prove their age using a credit card, ID, or selfie. The price of car ownership is increasing, with a new vehicle now costing about $66,000 on average. As Pat Foran reports, for anyone financing their purchase, bad credit can push that price substantially higher.
Marva Ebo of Bolton bought this 2016 Mazda SUV 3 years ago. Unfortunately, when she got a loan, she had credit issues. She borrowed just over $40,000 for the vehicle over 6 years. At almost 13% interest, the cost of borrowing is more than $17,000.
My credit was just below 600, so it was really hard to get any credit. So, of course, they approved me, but with a very high interest rate.
After paying $800 a month for the past 3 years, she still owes about $30,000 for the car, even though it's worth less than half that.
It's really, really frustrating, and I just reached a point now I don't know what to do.
Even if you have good credit, a recent survey found the total cost of car ownership in Canada is almost $1,400 a month. When you have bad credit, it's a lot more than that.
The data is showing that negative equity in car loans is now higher than it's ever been before.
Car Help Canada says anyone with poor credit or who has declared bankruptcy can end up with never-ending car payments.
The interest cost, the cost of financing ends up being so incredibly high that it quickly drowns them in debt, and they're left with a vehicle that's worth significantly less than what they originally paid for it.
It's important to maintain a good credit rating to avoid having to take out loans with high-interest lenders.
If you miss just one payment, regardless of what that amount is, it can have a very real impact on your credit score. So you want to be really careful about that.
I do need a car. I just can't afford $800 a month.
For anyone stuck in a high-interest loan, you could refinance, sell your car, or trade it in for something more affordable. Car Help Canada suggests paying it off as quickly as you can.
There's no easy way out of it. You just have to pay down the debt as quickly as you can, pay off the vehicle, and just hold on to it.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index finished lower today, weighed down by losses in the technology sector. The TSX is down 77 points. In New York, the Dow lost 11, the Nasdaq down just 2. The Canadian dollar dropped 1/5 cent. On commodity markets, gold fell $25 an ounce. Oil gained $1.31 a barrel. Later on CTV News, moving in at the Toronto Zoo. An introduction for 2 new residents with roots in the Scottish Highlands. Welcome back. Discord within the Ontario Elementary Teachers Federation. Many members walked out of the union's annual general meeting last night over concerns the executive team lacks diversity. With more, here's Janice Golding.
En masse, hundreds of Black educators and their allies walked out of a banquet inside the Sheridan Centre. An act of protest that sent a clear message to the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario.
Black voices were basically silenced and erased from ETFO's provincial executive.
This is a troubling step backwards in representation, equity, and the commitment to dismantling systemic barriers within our federation.
This week, over 700 delegates elected a new provincial executive, but that executive did not include any Black members.
We had 3 Black candidates run for elections, and not a single one of them was elected.
In March, the Ontario Human Rights Commission released a report called Dreams Delayed, addressing systemic anti-Black racism and discrimination in Ontario's public education system. In response, ETFO reinforced its commitment to, quote, building a future free from anti-Black racism, promising to expand its efforts to address the issue by creating Black educator leadership programs, launching a public campaign to recruit more Black educators, and providing financial support and funding for aspiring Black educators. Empty promises, say those gathered at the Sheridan.
You need to walk the talk. ETFO is not doing that.
We will not be silenced and we will not be erased. Period. End of story.
ETFO's new president-elect David Maston told CTV News he was not prepared to speak on this, and ETFO did not have another spokesperson available. However, in a closed-door meeting, outgoing President Karen Brown read a statement saying members need to reflect on what happened, adding, solidarity that does not include confronting anti-Black racism is not solidarity. It's a slogan. A union that ignores its own Black members' struggles is not a union. It's a club for the comfortable. Janice Golding, CTV News.
The provincial government is ordering public service employees still working remotely back to the office full-time.
I believe everyone's more productive when they're at work, and how do you mentor someone over a phone? You can't. You got to look at them eye to eye, over the water cooler, wherever, train them, camaraderie.
Roughly 60,000 Ontario civil servants will be required in office 4 days a week starting October and 5 days a week in the new year. More than half of provincial workers are already in the office full-time. Starting today, Canadian canola exporters are facing a roughly 75% Chinese duty.
They've already gone after oil and meal. And this is, of course, another unfair attack on our Western producers, many of whom were having a fantastic growing season and looking forward to a bumper crop. That crop is now facing tariffs from one of our biggest customers. These tariffs are unfair and unjustified, and we lament the fact that Mark Carney has been so silent and so weak, failing to stand up for our farmers against these tariffs.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre addressed producer concerns this morning in Saskatchewan. Chinese officials have put the tariff in place as a response to Canadian taxes on China's electric vehicles. Canada is a massive canola supplier for China, while there are very few Chinese electric vehicles brought into our country.
Hi there, there's lots going on this weekend. We're joined by KP from Mornings on 97.5 Virgin Radio. KP this weekend, gearing up for so many events going on. Let's start with Fringe Fest.
Yeah, so it wraps up this weekend. This is a really special event. A lot of incredible creatives coming together to put on some spectacular shows at the Palace Theatre and different venues around London. So there's 90 performances, I believe, 5 different venues. You can check out palacetheatre.ca for all the info on showtimes.
And the cool part about that is proceeds from the tickets go to a lot of the local artists.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
So that's pretty cool. London Majors, they're playing ball still.
Yeah, of course. Friday night, 7:35, that first pitch in Labatt Park as they take on the Chatham-Kent Barnstormers.
Awesome. And Palooza, tell us about this.
So Palooza is so fun. It's at the Plunkett Estate on Elviage. It is exactly what it sounds like, just dogs everywhere. So you can bring your dog. It's like, I think, $15 for a carload, and you have a great time. So there's a ton of different vendors set up, selling dog treats and human treats alike, of course. Lots of really cool, unique activities and events for the doggos, too. And for yourself, they've got, like, swimming with the dogs. It's really, really cute. So even if you don't have a dog, maybe this is a good introduction to that world. You could just go and bring the kids and see if, you know, they're receptive, and maybe you can just adopt the dog as well.
All right, and in St. Thomas this weekend, there's a big festival going on.
Yeah, so it's the Railway City Music and Arts Festival. This is huge. A ton of bands, a ton of live music, and good food, entertainment, and it's happening all weekend long, so go and check that one out too.
And there are so many events always going on downtown London, Victoria Park, and Covent Garden Market. What's happening?
We've got the Fusion event happening at the Covent Garden Market. So this is a really cool multicultural event. You've got music, you've got dancing, you've got all sorts of yummy food and good vibes only, of course. And then down in Victoria Park, they've got the Fiesta Extravaganza, and this is a Filipino event. It's going to be just celebrating Filipino culture, rather. And again, tons of really yummy food. Have you ever had Filipino food?
I have. It's so good.
Oh, it's so
delicious.
good. It's so good. And the music and the scene, it's going to be so great. And of course, free entry as well.
All right. As we start to wrap up the summer, we're going to talk fairs, and we have a fair this weekend.
It's a bittersweet moment because, you know, the cold weather's kind of on its way, but all the yummy fair food. So Tilsonburg's Fall Fair, that's happening this weekend, kicking off the season for us. So go and check that one out on all weekend long. I want to go and get just some, like, a funnel cake.
Yes,
you know,
or
funnel
candy
cake.
apple,
Yes.
French fries.
Oh,
I guess
deep fried anything.
Yes,
really.
deep fried Pogo stick, maybe.
Oreos.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, we can go on and on. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time on the London Lift.
Temperatures are set to heat up as we push toward the weekend. Saturday afternoon, feeling like the low 40s. The next opportunity for showers moving in Saturday night, early Sunday, although the probability on the lower end. Thank you so much, Amy, for this photo taken on Lake Huron.
A mother in Alberta is warning other parents about a U.S.-based online extremist network she says targeted her teenage daughter. The group has been targeted by American police stings, but north of the border, there's been little done by Canadian law enforcement. Terry Fikowski reports.
This quiet rural community is the last place you'd expect a child to be targeted by a violent international extremist network, but that's the living nightmare unfolding for the mother of a 14-year-old girl in small-town central Alberta. CTV is not identifying her or the family's location for their safety.
She locks herself in her room. She doesn't want to associate with anyone in the home.
Her daughter struggled with her mental health for years, but things escalated to a frightening tipping point roughly a year ago.
She'd written on her wall in blood. She had cut herself here and carved on her legs.
She also discovered disturbing sexually exploitive pictures and conversations on her phone with a member of 764, an ideologically motivated child exploitation enterprise formed in 2021, named after the founder's zip code in Texas. The founder of the group, who was just 15 at the time, is now serving an 80-year prison sentence, and the FBI has charged other alleged leaders. A few teens have been charged here in Canada, but the RCMP says 764 operates under a number of different aliases, making it hard to pin down and remains a serious threat.
It is a combination of neo-Nazism, Satanism, and self-harm. They also call it accelerationism, which means basically trying to get to the point where it's anarchy.
Members use encrypted platforms like the instant messaging service Discord. They also use popular online games Roblox and Minecraft to recruit youth.
The most disturbing stuff that you can imagine. Not only are they getting kids to self-harm, but they're also convincing their kids to, kill and mutilate animals, family pets, abuse siblings.
She's told me she'll stab me in my sleep.
Desperate to protect her family, this mother took away her daughter's phone and devices, only to learn she was still accessing the platforms at school, and says seeking support from the school board, healthcare system, and police has been an exhausting uphill battle.
She doesn't think I care, but I'm doing this all because I love her.
Nobody has been charged, but she's not giving up. Terry Fikowski, CTV News in Central Alberta.
Months into a trade war, the momentum behind the Buy Canadian movement appears to be losing steam. With more on the shifting domestic shopping habits, here's Bob Belichico.
Yeah, we're definitely buying Canadian. We're definitely buying in Canada.
The push to buy Canadian at grocery stores is still going strong, but according to Metro, one of the country's top grocers, and smaller stores like Fred's Farm Fresh, that movement may be losing a bit of momentum.
They got that taste in their mouth, with Trump and all that other stuff. And I think they're still trying to, but it's not as important as it was, say, 6 months ago or 7 months ago.
Shoppers may not be as engaged with the slogan, but some say they are definitely committed to buying Canadian.
I think that people really do want to see, as Windsor especially, and Canada in general, to, produce what they need and make sure that we buy our things so that we are promoting our own people.
Instead of buying into the slogan of being Canadian, buy into your culture, your local people. Go out and say hello to your friends. See your local butcher, your local market. Have a conversation.
Shoppers know that American products are on the shelf and are sometimes left with a decision.
I'm debating this purchase. I am. Wow. If I had a garden, I'd have my own.
Fred Buzide says Canadian-grown food is good, but sometimes isn't as good as American-grown.
For example, watermelons coming out of Canada, they're very good, but they don't compare to Texas or Georgia watermelons. They're incredibly sweet. They're very good.
Buzide supports the Buy Canadian movement, but says tariffs are affecting the bottom line.
They put tariffs on certain things, on watermelons and a different kind of fruit that we're bringing in, and we've had to raise our prices, and we're not selling as much as we used to.
Tariffs have also forced Buzide and other grocers to change the way they purchase products.
Lemons, for example, coming out of California, certain price. Now we're getting them out of Argentina or Spain or something like that. So it's a further away. The prices have to be higher because of shipping costs.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
An intense dust storm interrupted a Little League baseball game in New York State this past weekend. Both teams had to scramble off the field quickly when a dust devil formed in the middle of a championship game. Winds were estimated at close to 80 kilometers an hour, and they lasted about 30 seconds before play could resume.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, the Toronto Zoo is home to 2 new residents. A pair of shaggy-coated steers will make their public debut this weekend. With an introduction, here's Allison Hurst.
They're moving in, and the pair of bovine brothers are planning to stay.
I definitely like their fur. They look kind of silly with all their hair and stuff. Their horns, too, they're really cool.
A sneak peek for zoo members like Cheryl Monahan and her grandchildren, who planned today's trip to see the zoo's newest additions, these 9-month-old Highland cows.
I was in Scotland 2 years ago, and it was the first time I ever got to see a hairy coo and pet it. It was wonderful, and they're gentle. They really are gentle.
They remind me of my little brother Lachlan.
And how?
Because he has kind of red hair like them.
This pair is from Ontario, but their lineage can be tracked across the pond.
The Scotland Highlands is where Highland cows originated from. They can be looked back in the history books all the way to the 6th century.
Mark Branson says the brothers, who don't have names yet, are here to stay, and the average lifespan is 10 to 15 years in a zoo setting.
The intention behind them is our outreach and discovery team will be working with them each and every day to go through various positive reinforcement training to get them acclimated to potentially walking around the zoo eventually.
Jenna McQuegan says Highland cows are her daughter's favorite animals.
I think it's just we've seen them in different cartoons, and also they're just really adorable. So I think that might just be what it is.
They look like one of the movies.
Gina Snyder's children love all farm animals. So they had to come check out the cows.
I think they just like that they're nice, to be honest. And they're so cute.
It'd be great if they were standing, but we'll take what we can get.
Perhaps exhausted by the heat wave this city is experiencing.
They're so cute. They're really cute.
Starting this weekend, the Highland cows will be visible to all zoo guests. Allison Hurst, CTV News.
And that's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.